on the tax ship, and Dan Andrews has hatched a plan to increase property taxes by $2.5 billion. So he's asking property owners to pay for the decisions that he's done it. Now, the PM had something to say about this today. He said, for anyone who's investing or doing a bit better, it basically sort of says, well, we're going to take it. And I think there should be an uproar about this because, you know, what can you do except sell your property and leave the state? But, you know, this is government, Labor government and taxes. I'm joined now by Tim Wilson, who's the chair of the Standing Committee on Economics, a fellow Victorian. Tim, how do you assess this from an economic perspective? Is it good public policy?
It's terrible public policy, Cory, on a number of bases. Firstly, once upon a time, a millionaire was somebody who was rich. Today, it's a homeowner. And there are a lot of suburbs, including in my electorate, where people are going to be hit hard by these taxes. And the reality is you do not grow the economy by taxing it more, and particularly after the lockdown measures last year. A lot of businesses, either new ones that would be potentially looking to invest in Victoria, or who already had a massive disincentive from the lockdown measures, has now had to double down in terms of potential tax hikes, and they could go further than this if this state Labor government gets away with it without a fight. And of course, other businesses that already operate or might operate across different state boundaries now have an interest in moving more of their activities outside of the state. So it's going to directly harm growth in the state and the opportunity for people who want to invest.
And tell me though, how should the Andrews government expect to finance this $23 billion deficit, which is a product of their own making, I've got to tell you. It's just extraordinary. But lifting taxes in a fragile economy would seem to be counterproductive.
You're 100% right. And, you know, the Grattan Institute, for instance, come out today making the point, and I don't normally quote them, but I think on this occasion they're right, which is it'll actually make the tax problem and the debt problem the state faces worse because it will drive away investment and people will be less likely to invest in Victoria. So if you want to grow the pie and grow economic opportunity, you at least need to rebase the tax system and shift the burden so that we have people contributing through all stages of life and across different activities, and instead they're going in the opposite direction. They're targeting people who are contributing or investing into the future of the state. And the other thing, of course, the state government needs to do is looking at reform, reducing its costs, because so much of the increase in expenditure in Victoria has frankly gone to raising public sector wages, but hasn't actually delivered any dividend in terms of improvement in services or outcomes for Victorians.
All right, Tim Wilson, some points very well made. I hope you'll tune in for the conversation now with a great person who likes to reform Victoria and loves local government. And that's our very own Nicholas Rees. Nicholas, how do you respond to what Tim's just said there?